All right, grand day, everyone. It's Shay Seeking, and we're gonna go ahead and go into um, Genesis. We're going into Genesis 5 really quick, and then I didn't realize that Enoch was in 6. I didn't realize that he was in really Genesis at all, actually. I didn't really realize that. You know what? This whole thing is, I have a lot of stuff circled and underlined and stuff in here. And I'm going to have to go, man, I wish, and that's the thing, time. So while I'm doing this type of work, which I feel is fulfilling, and it's a part of my purpose, and opening up the Bible today, I feel like I had been off for a couple days and I'm coming back into it, to just actually opening up the Bible to like what's on my heart when I wake up, like in the morning, after just waking up and straightening up a little bit and walking around, showering. I'm just like something on my mind. So it might be something to do with the day before or whatever. But yeah. So in 5, I just wanted to point this out really quick, where it says, now we're reading from it's a parallel Bible with the Living and the King James, but since most people have the King James, I like to read out of the Living, especially even the Living kind of gives you stuff straight to the point. So it's kind of a little bit easier to understand things at the surface level. So again, I thought this was interesting. And it says here in Genesis 5, it's saying here's a list of some, with the asterisks, of the descendants. Okay, which we found out that that son actually does mean descendants. So a son can also be a so-called daughter. I mean, the language, again, and this is why I advise people to go back to the old, if you're wanting to take this walk and kind of be able to see what's going on in these days, it's important to, look up these definitions, because then I think this is how they have had us mixed up for a long time. But again, I think that things could be different now, and that information is going to be coming to you, in another way. The way that when I was a little girl, I thought that, why don't God just tell us? Is what I used to say. And so, I think that there's different ways now that these things are occurring, that we're going to be able to get information. And I think it all had to happen. But I think some of the work that we've been doing within certain communities, especially online and stuff, and pushing certain things, is, like I said, helping people remember and see, okay, and hear things differently. And then it kind of resonates with you, and it takes on a whole different life form within than what religion and education systems have taught us over the time. So it says, and again, to break, just learning how to just not just be reading like, oh, and then God said this, and then, to slow down a little bit, like, because even that, here is a list of some, because usually in the beginning of the chapter is going to tell you something. Like people don't like that we are taking so much time breaking these things down sometimes, but at the same time, they'll sit in church for 3 hours and listen to somebody talk about other things other than the word. They throw a couple scriptures and go off on a tangent on that for a very long time. And there's nothing, no, it is something. Like I said, in the beginning was the word. And the word was with God. And if God kept the word, then I want to keep it too. And so, it's just the way I look at it. So it says, we both, and like I said, we should have like the basic keys on dissecting and discerning right now, right? Many things. Those of us that are waking and rising in a sense, or ascending, which I think everybody is at some level. Okay, let's go. So again, just to see how it says, here is so I'm not actually telling you what to think. I'm just saying how we're thinking might be in the wrong way, and that there's another way that can open up some of those doors, possibly in that mansion. Okay, so it says, here is a list of some, with an asterisk, of the descendants of Adam. Okay, there's a dash here. And it says, the man who was like God. Okay, so I'm trying to get a better understanding on some things that possibly spiritually I've been seeing in that realm. And so this is why I came back here. So it says, who was like God. So I'm guessing in the likeness of, right? From the day of his creation. The man, and we know that man can be speaking of male and female, or androgynous, or whatnot. Okay, because it's gonna say somewhere in here. We'll get to it. Okay. So just to break that down, that's a lot right there in just that little portion. The man who was. So I don't know if that's saying that he isn't anymore or what. So the man who was like God, with a capital G, from the day of his creation. So are we talking of the creation of God? Or are we talking about the creation of this man, this Adam? It goes on to say, God created man and woman and blessed them and called them man from the start. Mm. Yeah. So again, I don't know, that it always fascinates me many times. I mean, I have stuff, arrows and stuff, every time something new, So down here in the notes, or in the little markers at the bottom, it says, here's a list of some of the descendants, which could also mean sons, which could also mean just descendants, so they can be female too, of Adam, literally. This is the role of Adam's descendants, the man who was like God, literally, in the likeness of God. When his son, which could also be descendant, or female, or by Hebrew usage, when his son, the ancestor, of Seth, was born. So also in verses 6, 9, 15, 18, 21, 25, 28, and 32, the very image of his father in every way. Literally in his own likeness, after his image. Now, hold on, let me see something. Is this the right phone? Nah. Let's see. hate when I have to take people through my phone. You know, I don't have nothing in there really. Okay, image, the noun, 12th century or 12, the 1200s. It says a piece of statuary, artificial representation that looks like a person or thing. Oh, that's what I was. Oh my goodness, I did a breakdown. I didn't record it on AI, and oh man, it was okay. We'll go. Oh my goodness, I'd be wanting to do it. I think I need to write that one out though, because I want to get it right. Write it to right. Okay. Old French image, likeness, figure, drawing, portrait, reflection, statue. A copy or imitation, likeness, statue, picture, phantom, ghost, apparition, an idea, appearance, from stem to copy, imitate to copy. So again, like even when we're talking about, this idea of a thing and dealing with, again, how I was trying to explain to you guys that, dealing with a lot of this stuff, like, are we really understanding that we are dealing with portions of what this book is calling the book of Genesis or Genosis? We're dealing with portions of that within this day and time, because I feel like we're going through some form of a transition or a reset or something is happening. Okay. And so we are in Genesis, but we're also somewhere in Revelations. You see what I'm saying? With some of these words, it's about being very vigilant in the world around us and seeing those things, and then it triggers something to for you to ask that question or that thought or that idea, and then again that higher connecting to, when you're connected to higher self and then source. I feel okay. So again, a lot of us have been dealing with these particular things, not knowing how to express or translate them in some way, shape, or form.